We're here. Are you ready? Prepare.
From Studio K at Foxboro Cable Access.
Saffron is essentially the stamen of a rose.
Feeling creative?
Sage has a great flavor.
Is your palate needing a new challenge? Well, let's cook with Mike Damasio.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another show of Let's Cook with Mike. It's been a little bit since we've been together, and I'm looking forward to getting back to it. I have a great show today. We're going to do something that's kind of in trend right now, which are noodle bowls. You see a lot of new noodle bowl restaurants popping up all over the place. It's kind of the hot cuisine right now. It's a mixture of a few different Asian cultures, Thai and Japanese and Chinese and Korean as well. And we're going to kind of incorporate all that into our meal today. Few of the items we're going to do, we actually have 4 things we're going to create today. Some of them are pretty easy, and the main dish is a little involved, but still something that you can do very easy at home. What we're going to start with is a honey ginger salad with a honey ginger dressing. This is the salad that you usually get if you go to a hibachi restaurant. Really delicious. It's before you start the meal. Then we're going to do a broccoli, sesame, honey chilled salad, so that's going to involve some of our broccoli. We're also going to do a grilled sweet chili garlic tofu on our grill here, and we're going to finish with the main course, which is the Japanese noodle bowl. Really delicious, a lot of great flavors. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's cook. We're going to have a lot of water boiling here today. We're going to have to cook off our rice noodles. For the noodle bowl, we have to blanch our broccoli, and of course the most important is the broth. So let's get going. So the first thing we're going to do is wait for the waters to boil. So in here I'm going to do my broccoli first and then the rice noodles second, because these rice noodles are nice and thin, vermicelli, whatever you like to call them. They cook within minutes. They just really need a hot water, and they can sit and soak in there, and they'll be done in just a few minutes. The broccoli is going to take a little bit of time to get a good blanch, so it's nice and easy to chew. A little bit of a crunch, but still nice and easy to chew. And in here we're going to start up the soy ginger broth. Okay. So with that, all of our ingredients here, we have a wide array of ingredients, and I'm going to get going on some to get the broth started. All right. So it is a soy ginger broth. So I'm going to use some soy sauce, some sesame oil, some ginger, some pickled ginger, and a little bit of onion. At the end of it, we're going to strain all those vegetables out of it. So we're going to let it cook pretty much the whole show. We're going to keep this thing rolling all show long to get all the flavors out of these vegetables that we can, to bring out the most flavor in the end for the dish. So because we're going to be straining out all these flavors, I'm just going to rough chop this this ginger here, and throw it in. I'm going to do the same with all these vegetables. Nothing has to be small. All we have to do is get the flavors out of them. All right. A few cloves of garlic. That was about 3 ounces of ginger, real simple. Our onion here, same thing. We'll be using this onion later as a garnish for our noodle bowl. We're going to put a little sesame oil. And the soy sauce. Now this is something I will not add salt to, because the soy is going to take care of that for me. Then the last thing I'm going to add, but I have to wait for the water to boil, is some vegetable base. This is going to be a complete vegan meal. Something I don't do very often on this show. We always try to have an alternative for your protein meal when I cook here. So when I told my friends, one of my friends that was actually a co-chef here one time, my buddy Pete down in New Jersey, that I was doing a vegan meal, he hung up on me. But he got over it and called me back, so I thought that was pretty funny. So we have the broth going. The water's getting ready for the broccoli. I'm just going to trim this down into small little flowerets. Get them into the water. Break the rest by hand. That way you get nice and clean cuts. And get that last stalk off. Delicious. Very nice. All right, so just a quick little recap. We got the broth getting ready to boil. We have our broccoli. It's going to blanch. And we're going to start now with the honey ginger salad. It's very simple, 3 ingredients in the salad. Make it very simple. We have a beautiful Asian cabbage, some romaine lettuce, and a carrot. All right. I'm going to clean off this. This is going to be real easy to make. Make this in 1 second. And really the best part of this salad, obviously, is the dressing. Put some of that. I'm just going to trim a little bit of the cabbage off. Nice fine julienne cut here on the lettuce. I like my salad in edible sizes. I don't like to cut my salad once it's on my plate, so I make sure I make every piece bite-sized right on a fork. Just going to give this a little mixture. Put this on our salad. Delicious. And then with the carrot, we're going to keep the carrot nice and simple as well. Just going to peel our carrot into our Foxboro cable access receptacle here. And what I like to do with the carrots, you know, everybody will cut it up, make a julienne, make a cube, make it strips. I like doing some funky stuff with it, so just using the vegetable peeler here, gonna make some ribbons. Simple, little different texture, little different look, just as easy, if not easier, than trying to get a knife and make a uniform cut. So we're just gonna sprinkle this on top. Delicious. Then we're going to get into the salad dressing right away. All right. So there's our salad. That's all the ingredients on that salad. But again, the best part is the dressing. And we're going to make that dressing right now. What I have here is some dry mustard, about a tablespoon's worth of dry mustard. I'm going to turn this into a paste. Just by adding a little bit of water, my finger to mix. Just going to make a little bit of a paste here. That looks about right. The rest of the ingredients are going to go right here into my little food processor that I brought from home. This tool is invaluable to me. I use it for so many different things, making sauces, pureeing vegetables, everything. Just a really great tool to have. Very inexpensive. You can see it's not huge. You don't need a real big one for the house. If you're cooking for 3, 4, 5, 6 people, that should take care of everything you need. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to just start again with some of these vegetables. And again, they can be a rough chop because they're going to be pureed up in our food processor. What I'm making here is the honey ginger dressing. I'm going to put some ginger in there, some garlic. Again, I don't have to do any fancy cuts today, which is nice. We will do some in the end for our noodle bowl. We're going to do up some shallots. This is delicious shallot. Kind of a cross of a onion and a piece of garlic. Very nice, great flavor. And let's see, the broccoli looks like it's coming along. Probably ready to pull that out. Again, the shallot here. Put that in our blender. Very good. Again, this requires some soy sauce. We're going to go about 4 tablespoons. I'm going to incorporate this paste in there, but we'll do that with a little mixer here. We're also going to have some lime juice. A lot of ingredients. Rice wine vinegar, delicious. I'm going to go about a 1/4 cup. Some honey. Love honey. Neil loves honey. He has his beehives up and running. Hopefully they make it through the winter this year. All right, let's get this paste in. Thing I like about Asian cooking is that there's a lot of great vegetables that just aren't commonly used in our houses these days here in America, but I'll tell you that some of the best flavors. You can get creative. It's all real simple stuff, but it ends up coming out so great in the end. The colors and the flavors, just a little different from what we're used to here. All right, I'm going to pull our broccoli out. That looks great. I'm going to put it aside for it to cool. It's right back here. And that's going to be great. All right, now I'm going to bring this water back to a boil. We're going to reuse this water for the noodles. And you're saying, why aren't you clearing out the broccoli, broccoli water? We just have a little more flavor added to our broth for the show and for the dish. All right, some lime juice, about half a lime's worth. Just going to squeeze that all in here. This is going to be delicious. And some scallion. Again, part of the onion family. And throw in a little bit. I have some pickled ginger here, about a tablespoon's worth. Pickled ginger, you see this a lot with sushi, right? Goes great with sushi. Big accompaniment in a lot of Asian cooking. All right. Okay. It's going to make a little bit of noise, but it won't be very long. We're going to make this into our dressing. And again, this, once done, we're just going to set this aside, and we'll top our salad after at the very end, right at the last minute. We don't want the vinegar or anything to lessen the quality of the lettuce, so we're just going to put that aside as well. Delicious. All right, the broth seems to be rolling right along here. I'm going to give my cutting board and equipment a little wipe, get it back to clean. All right. So again, as I mentioned, the noodles are just going to take a few moments in this water. Again, they're rice noodles, vermicelli. We're just going to let them sit and soak. They'll be just probably about 4 or 5 minutes in there. Just going to flip it so everything gets wet. It'll start to break up on its own. The broth is coming along just great. As I mentioned, the last ingredient is the vegetable base. I'm going to do about a tablespoon here. And you just want to slowly incorporate this into the broth. Fell off the spoon, which is good. And now we just want to mix it in a little bit. Have our whip. You just want to break up that little clump of paste. And again, if you notice, I use the vegetable pastes. I don't like the boxed broths that you might find. I think the pastes are much better. They're a much better concentrate. You can get them in low sodium, regular sodium, whatever you want. But I think this just it's a much better product. This is a Nora's flavor. I also like the Not Your Better Than Bouillon brand is a great brand as well. All right. So we're back to we got the noodles cooking, and we have our ginger soy broth brewing, which is looking great. Our noodles are coming along just fine. I'm going to be pulling these noodles off in just a moment. They're all nice and separated. Again, these cook up really quick. You still need a few more minutes, but they're very delicious. You'll see at the end how great they come out and how nice they go with this whole dish. All right, I also have a whole bunch of other vegetables here. I have red pepper, nice white onion, some mushrooms, and kimchi. Kimchi is a fermented cabbage, very popular in Korea, South Korea. It's an acquired taste for sure, but it adds a lot of great flavor and a little bit of heat to our noodle bowl. So what I'm going to do now is prepare our vegetables, which are going to basically garnish our noodle bowl, as soon as I take my pasta off. Step away for a second so I can take care of this. Beautiful. Ooh, glass is steamed up. All right. Okay. So, I'm going to make these vegetables. Now, with these vegetables, you want to make them nice and thin so that they basically cook in the broths, because the broth is going to reheat this whole dish. Everything's going to come back to this dish at room temperature, and the broth is going to be what really cooks all these vegetables. They're going to go into this dish really raw. So again, a nice fine cut, keeping the vegetables nice and thin. I'm going to do the same with the pepper here. And again, I like everything to be just about bite size. Put that pepper in there. We have these delicious mushrooms. Quick rinse. Nice and thin. Put them in their little case. Then again, the kimchi. Pieces are kind of large, so I'm just going to pluck some of this out, get it on the cutting board. Again, make it nice so that when you're eating your noodle bowl, you can get everything and not just a mouthful of onion or kimchi or whatever the ingredient might be. You want to be able to get a little bit of everything. Keep that stuff right on top. And again, let me clean up my cutting board here. Towel. All right, one of the last parts of this dish, which is the grilled tofu. Again, a very easy dish. Very easy to prepare. Just have some sweet chili sauce, which is one of my favorite dipping sauces. Goes great with wings. Oh yeah, love my sweet chili wings. Again, I just bought some tofu in the store here. Very good. I buy the extra firm. It's easy to work with, especially when you want to grill something. All right, you got this nice block. Just going to cut this right down the middle. All right, delicious. We're going to grill this part. We're just going to let the the grill get a little hotter here. I'm going to rub it with a little bit of the sweet chili sauce. Cook that side down first. All right. Looking good. This broth is looking tremendous. There's going to be a lot of flavor in there. We have our salad, which will be tossed with our delicious dressing in the end, looking beautiful. Our broccoli, which can come back. In the end, we're going to toss this with a little bit of honey and sesame seeds. Delicious. And the last but not least will be the noodle bowl, which will be coming up. Put a little bit of sesame oil on our grill here to try to prevent sticking. And hey, that gets hot. All right. Very good. Put this side down. Oh, sounds like a piece of beef. Delicious. I'm going to put a little more on here. This is going to look great. See if we can get some nice grill marks. I'm looking for a spatula. Here we go. Tremendous. Studio K has all the amenities I need. I'm going to let this get some grill marks on that, so we're going to keep that on there just a few minutes longer. We'll rest this aside. So what I'm going to do now, take my broccoli, have some sesame seeds, Again, very simple meal, very simple. It's going to be delicious in the end. A little bit of sesame oil. And a little bit of honey. Probably not even a tablespoon. Just enough to coat. We're going to hand mix this. We have our finishing bowls here. That's going to look great for our noodle bowl. This is going to be share a plate with the tofu. All right. You know, I'm not going to lie. I thought I wasn't going to be able to get all this stuff done on time at the same time, but sometimes I amaze myself. All right. We got the noodles here. You probably don't need all those. I'll make a second bowl for somebody else. Cut some of these noodles right off there. There you go. All right, that's still a big portion. Okay, getting ready to finish this up. I think our tofu, we're leaving some of the marks on the grill, but you get the idea. It's going to be delicious. Get some gloves back on. I like wearing the gloves. I wear them at work. I wear them at home. It's just something I like to do. Just a little. Okay. So now we're coming with the noodle bowl here. We're going to finish up with starting to put our vegetables in here. As the broth starts to finish, the tofu starts to wind down. I'm having trouble with these gloves, of course. All right. All right, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of onions in here, a little bit of the red pepper, some mushrooms, nice and thin, some scallions, some pickled ginger. Let's cut this stuff up. Some kimchi. I mean, all those flavors. Woo! A little bit of my cilantro here, delicious. Again, just a rough chop. Want that flavor. Some people don't like cilantro. You don't need to add it. I like everything in my dishes. So again, this is the noodle bowl. Beautiful colors. I mean, tremendous colors. And in the end, it's going to be topped with this strained broth that we're going to have here. And we have a delicious vegan dish. I'm going to take these gloves off because they're not doing me any good. All right. The tofu's just about finished. I'm going to bring this back onto the cutting board. Just going to do some nice cuts. This is going with our broccoli. Delicious. Beautiful. Really nice. Tofu and the broccoli, the honey ginger salad, and last but not least, my veggie broth. All right, so we're going to take our broth and get ready to strain it. I'm going to grab it into, first we're going to pour it into a larger bowl, which will make it easier for me to strain. We're going to strain this right into our dish. So again, we want to keep this clear. It's going to block all these chunky vegetables from getting in there. Now, if I was at home, I would have drained this into a larger bowl first and then into the broth bowl. But you get the idea. Delicious. All right. Let's wipe this down. We have ourselves a 3-course meal. Boom. With 4 items. Let's try to clear the space for this deliciousness. And I'm going to hold up that noodle bowl because all that is delicious. We have our dressing for our salad here. Delicious. All right. So here's this noodle bowl, right? Vegan, but doesn't that look delicious? Just a ginger soy sauce with rice noodles and any vegetables you like. I chose red pepper, white onion, button mushrooms, kimchi, pickled ginger and scallions, and cilantro, all in there, all adding great flavors. We have this delicious honey ginger salad, 3 simple ingredients with a honey ginger dressing that if you don't feel like making, you can find in any supermarket. But as you can see, it was very simple instructions, very simple ingredients, stuff you should have hanging around. And then, of course, very simple, the sesame honey broccoli chilled salad with the grilled sweet chili tofu. Geez, I can't wait to eat. It's been a while since we've been here in Studio K, so I'm looking forward to getting down and eating with my crew here. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you learned something. We'll see you again on Let's Cook with Mike.